Hello, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy, and I've just completed the Shades of Purple journal this morning. I worked on it for a couple of days after I got everything cut out and gathered and inked. I didn't plan each page out in advance, so this is not a tutorial, but I will explain every single thing that I did to get the pages like they are. I did an introduction to this, and if you didn't see it, you might want to go back one video and take a look at that. I used the Shades of Purple digital kit by G. Kerr with Happiness in Crafting, and I did the background pages with Floral Rabbit Pockets from Calico Collage. I just used one of the urns and a little butterfly off of one of them, but those were from My Porch Prints, a freebie. I also used Words and Phrases, Mixed Words and Phrases number 5 from Happiness in Crafting. So we'll go through this now. I decided to tie it closed with my recycled silk ribbon, and I love this ribbon. I order it from a person off of a shop off of Etsy, and it is variegated, and in places it is sewn together because it is recycled, and I even like that look. Gives it a more vintage and handcrafted look. What I did was just cut 2 pieces of the ribbon and wrap it around the journal and tie it. And I fastened it in place on the back so that when it's untied, it stays with the book. On the cover, I took a piece of the paper from the kit and just cut it in a long strip, and I used my little wooden stamps to stamp the title on it. And I've done all the inking and this stamping in a purple ink. And this is ink I've had for a long time. I don't even know where I got it, but it's a nice purple shade. I think it says, well, I can't tell what it says on the front, but it says just craft ink pad for fabric, wood, and paper. I tried it out on a piece first, and I liked the way it looked. I usually use vintage photo for all my journals, but since this was purple, I thought this might look better. So I stamped Pretty in Purple on the front, which is the title of the journal. I tied a bow for my white seam binding ribbon and glued it on, and then this is a pear clip that I loaded up with one of the little round pieces of ephemera from our kit. It kind of looks like a round tag. It had a hole in the top. I put a book page on it and a piece of a sticker, a piece of ribbon, a butterfly charm, and a key, and I fastened that right onto the ribbon as a dangle. This background of the lady and all was already on here, and I gave her a sparkly iridescent rhinestone for her necklace. And this is an attempt at a collage here on the front, made from scraps. This is a tag from the kit, and this heart is from the kit. And I just layered some book page and some lace from this table runner here, a little tiny piece of white cardstock that I had die cut a lace, just a little snippet I had left. This is some ribbon that is kind of frayed on the edge, and I just layered it, made it into kind of a ruffle and glued it. There's music here, a blue paper flower, some of those roses that I showed you in the other video. It's a trim that comes in a long string, and I just cut off what I needed, and just a tiny bit of ribbon. And I don't know if you can see this glitter here and in the four corners here, but I've used it throughout because I watched a video the other day and a lady was using this stuff, and I had it. I'd forgotten I had it. It's called Stickles. And you just dot it on wherever you want it, and it takes a long time for it to dry, so you want to do it and then set the piece aside. And I pretty much let it dry overnight because it takes it a long time to dry. But when it dries, it leaves behind glitter dots. So I've got 3 here and on the 4 corners here, and then I put a strip of my rhinestones. This is some of the white lace that I showed you that I had ordered off of Amazon, and I've used 2 different patterns in this book. This I use as an edge on almost all the pages, not every one, but almost all the pages. So that's our cover, and open it up here and show you the inside. This background paper, as I said, is from Calico Prints Rabbit Pockets background paper. I just liked it because it complemented what we were using and brought in some other colors too. I made a pocket on the front here with a piece of the striped paper that you see on this page in the background. And I did a collage on the front of music and our table runner lace, the word vintage, 2 of the iridescent rhinestones that come with sticky already on the back, a purple flower sticker, and a butterfly sticker. And inside the pocket, I put one of the journal cards from the kit, and I just topped it with the lace and some of those pretty roses. And this tag, I just punched a hole and reinforced the hole with an eyelet, and then tied our white seam binding ribbon on it. I like this ribbon because it's delicate and it doesn't add a lot of depth to the book. Some of this ribbon, if you tie it in a bow, it's a lot thicker. This page is one of the beautiful pages from our digital kit, and down here in the corner, I just cut a square from this striped paper, and then folded it at an angle, and then it opens up for writing space. I glued it down on these 2 sides so that it made a small corner pocket. And I used these 2 small tags in there. And if you notice, I've used the, what's it called? Stickles on the body of this butterfly and this one, and also in the 4 corners of this blessed. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it makes it beautiful. Our next page just features a belly band from the kit, and I've put rhinestones at the top and bottom. It's just glued at these 2 ends. One of our pretty ovals from the kit I used in the center here to decorate it, and just put one of our journal cards. All the journal cards and pages and everything are also printed on the back for the most part. This is where I chose to put my doily in the kit. You'll see the other half of it later on. And I just used my stickers on either side to decorate it. This page is just beautiful with the lady with the sheet music in the background. And I left a lot of these pages as simple as possible so that you could see how beautiful they are, plus it gives some writing space. And on this page, I just put the word grateful, and I used my stickles in the 4 corners. I put this butterfly, which is a really big butterfly for her image, but it's a butterfly landing on her hat. The stickles is on her necklace and on her bracelets on her wrists. And this is a sticker that I cut and made it look like she's holding the flower in her hand. And I trimmed this page in the same scallop lace. This page has just a little envelope that opens up, and I used this tag here where I just glued down this part of it here so that it holds the envelope closed, and I trimmed it with one of our pretty iridescent rhinestones. This is the floral trim that I've used throughout, and this just opens up, and inside is one of our phrases from the Words and Phrases number 5. I use these quite a bit in here as kind of as journal cards and to decorate the pages. This one says, "Life is a journey. Remember to stop and enjoy the view." If you were giving this book to someone, this would be a good spot to enclose a little letter or message to them. On the edge of this is just paper folded folded and then folded again to make kind of an envelope. I glued it on each side, and then when I glued it down, I glued it on 3 sides so it would make a side pocket. But this edge, if you can see it, is scalloped, and I have a set of these scissors in a little wooden carousel that show the design on the side, and I used it to cut the edge off of there. So this just tucks back in under there. And in the pocket is a couple of pretty journal cards. This one I tied with that really fine white lace that I had. On this page, I took one of the journal cards and I cut off part of it at an angle. It was a rectangle shape. I cut this at an angle and glued the 3 sides to make a side pocket so that the design on this page would still show. And inside the pocket, I've put the words, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success." Another tag with that lightweight lace ribbon, and another little tag of a lady. Those just fit right in there. At the top here, I used some of our lace from our table runner, the word "wonderful," and a strip of our rhinestones. These are the rhinestones that have the sticky on the back, and you just cut off the length that you want. This is the center of the journal, and it's put together just like you would sew it into a larger journal if you were making several signatures in the journal. It is sewed through 3 holes, in through the center, back up here, down here, and back up through the center, and then tie a bow. And you can see on the outside what that looks like. Sometimes I reinforce this with lace. I did not on this. I didn't feel like this was bulky enough that it would need that, but you could if you wanted to. So in this center pocket, center fold, I put 2 pockets, and I mounted them individually so as to leave a space here in the center so the book would close well. This pocket is decorated with one of the pretty journal cards, scalloped journal cards, a piece of lace from our table runner, and this is a butterfly. I have a butterfly stamp and die cut set, and I stamped and cut out the butterfly, hand colored it, and then stamped it again with the silver embossing ink, clear, and then I put the embossing powder on it and then embossed this with silver. I already had done this and just had it waiting for a project. In this pocket, I have one of our journal cards, and I put one of the little round tags on it with a brad, and I just fit on some of that little fine lace and a key. On the back, these brads just spread out like that to stay closed. And this other journal card, I punched a hole and tied a little piece of our pretty ribbon that we're using to tie the journal closed with, and I put some of the Stickles glitter on the body of the butterfly. On this page, I used the other part of that rectangle that I had cut for a side pocket on a previous page, and this made a side pocket on this page with the wreath. And I decorated that pocket with a piece of our ribbon, a piece of two little tiny pieces that were left over of that fine white lace, and the word hope. And inside this pocket, I just used one of the tags from the kit. I had to cut it off a little bit at the bottom, it was too long. I used a heart from the kit and put our Stickles glitter on the body of the butterfly. All of these can be written on, all these tags. Plus up here, when you pull these out, there's room up in here on this page. This is one of the journal cards from the kit, or these could have been folded to make mini books, which I may go back and do. I think that might be a good idea. And I trimmed it with a different lace, and in the center, and you can't really see it in this light, I don't think, but I put the Stickles right in the center, so the center of each of the flowers is sparkly. And this is just one of the tags, scallop tags from our kit. This is where I tied the journal closed. This page, this is printed on the page here, and so it left empty space here and here. So what I did was I used one of our little ovals at the top, and I glued it just across the top and on these sides to make a top tuck spot. I used the word smile from our words and phrases, and I used the Stickles on the four corners of the word and on all these butterflies. This one down here too. So inside this little top tuck spot, I did something a little different here just because I had the pieces, but this is a small tag, and I took one of the round circular tags and put it on with a brad. I had some purple brads, and I also fastened on the lace and the word giving. So this just tucks up here in the top, and these two tags are small tags that also will tuck up in here. This page was one of the pattern pages, and I decided to cut. It's mounted on one of our floral pages by gluing here, here, and here. And what I did was cut out this shape right here to make a side pocket. And so it made a nice large pocket, which I love, and I used that pretty scallopy lace, and I put a I thought I had 4, so it's fallen off or something. Anyway, there's 3 of these iridescent rhinestones on here, and I had a 4th one up here. I'll find it and put it back on there. I gave it a flower sticker, and I had used a brad on this other side, so I covered it with a butterfly that I cut off of one of those urn pictures that I showed you in the previous video. Inside the pocket, I just took one of our pages, folded it in half, and I had to trim it quite a bit, but I folded it in half, and then it opens up for journaling space, and I put the words, never give up on the things that make you smile. Making journals is one of the things that makes me smile. Sharing them with you is another thing that makes me smile. So there's that page. I thought about adding papers into there, but I didn't want to make it any thicker than I needed to. Okay, this is the next page, and I used one of the round tags, fastened it on with the brad that I showed you I covered with the butterfly on the back. I used the stickles on the butterfly body, and I went ahead and glued down this part right here so that I could kind of make this into a little tuck spot. So this says, do what you love and love what you do, and can be written on the back. And our pretty scallop lace trim. Here's the other half of our doily. On this side I used one of the hearts from the kit, and on this side I used one of the urns from the My Porch Prints freebie. That's the only one I used, and the little butterfly off of one of them. On this page I made a pocket out of part of one of the pattern pages by just cutting out these flowers in this shape. I glued down these three sides so that I would make a pocket. And inside the pocket I have put one of our words on a piece of our cardstock from this project. Every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day. I put a hole in the corner and tied some of our pretty ribbon on there. That just tucks down in there. And then this is just a strip of paper I had left after cutting some of these things. So I just folded it in half, gave it some sparkle lace and some, these flowers I cut off of one of the larger urn pieces to decorate that. And that just tucks in there. At the top, I used a book page, the word hugs, and a butterfly sticker. And where I had the pages such that I couldn't put the lace down the side on the front of it, I put it on the back because I wanted to have most of the pages. They don't all, but most of the pages have this lace on them. So this one is on the back side. This page, I just left it as it is. I put the stickles on all the butterfly bodies, put the lace down the side, and left plenty of room for writing. This is our inside back cover, and I used one of the pages and cut it to fit, trimmed it in our lace, and I used my washi tape on two sides to make a hinge so that it flips up. And at the top, you can write, and it flips up out of the way to show a pocket. And the pocket is made from a little kind of it's not an envelope, it just opens up. So it's a piece of paper, it's this one actually, folded almost in thirds that you can open up to write on. And I used this little square piece that was left over from cutting that stripes to make a little tab to hold that closed. It's just glued down at the bottom. I used the stickles on the butterfly bodies. Used our pretty scalloped lace like we did on the edge and the word friends. And I glued this down so that it would be a pocket also. I put in one of our journal cards. And the words, be kind whenever possible, because it is always possible to be kind. And that is our journal. On the back, I just laid the ribbon, I tied it around, and then when I knew I had the ribbon where I wanted it to be, I used just a strip of our cardstock, decorative cardstock, and glued it down, put the words "Be Kind" across, and that actually glued the ribbon down so that it stays with the journal. And at the bottom here, I've signed it pretty in purple, "Made with Love, Carolyn." So that finishes up that journal, and I enjoyed every minute making it. It works out really good for me not to actually do a tutorial, because I can kind of put together the pages as I go, and I go back through 2 or 3 times adding additional little pieces that make it so much more beautiful than I could do if I had to pre-plan out every page. So I hope that works for you, and if you're wanting to create something similar, that you got some good ideas out of this. This is a great kit, and I'm not quite finished with it yet. I was going to make I'm going to make a portfolio, and I still don't know for sure if I'm going to print out a bunch more of this stuff to go inside, or if I'm going to use some things that I have already made. But in any case, it will be unique, and it will be using a portion of this kit. I actually went back and printed a couple of more pages of this stripe, I think it was, in the on cardstock, and also one of the pages that had the journal cards, because I kind of ran out of things to put in here. So that's okay. Once you buy the kit, you can print it as many times as you want to and use it any way you want to. And I kind of like the idea of taking the smaller cards like these and actually folding them and making them into either just small journals or little notepads. So I probably will do that too. So I've got this to make, maybe some of these to go inside like that. And I have gotten something in this box right here. And anytime I get my hands on a really nice box, I don't want to throw it away. But I thought, well, it looks kind of like the size of a journal. So this journal fits right in there. So what I'm going to try to do, and I'll come back and show you after it's done if I'm successful, is decorate this box, and it will serve as a packaging for this journal. So I hope you'll come back and take a look at that. That'll be in the next video or two as I get these things put together. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a good day here in Kentucky, and it's hot. I've watered gardens again and walked my dog, and kind of finished this up, and I'll get this video posted for you to see very soon. And I thank you for watching, and I hope you'll always remember that every day's a gift. So many things that we can do each day to reach out and help others, and in the same way we find joy ourselves in the giving. So until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.